I'm Margaret Kerrigan, and this is Art Market Minute from ArtNet Pro. It's Monday, May 25th, and this week, we're taking a high-level look at the biggest winners and losers of New York's marquee spring auction week, one of the biggest bellwethers of the art market. Across the board, the major houses posted dramatic gains over last spring, powered by trophy works, major collections, and a renewed willingness among collectors to spend at the highest level. Let's start with the comeback story of the season, Phillips. Phillips Auction House brought in $115.2 million across 41 lots at its modern and contemporary evening sale. That more than doubles last year's equivalent total. It was nearly a white glove sale aside from 2 withdrawn lots, and it marked the company's strongest New York spring outing since 2022. That's especially significant because Phillips has had a rough stretch lately. Last year, the house posted just under $391 million in annual fine art sales, its weakest result since 2016. This season, though, guarantees and the company's new priority bidding system appeared to help stabilize the sale. But unlike in the ultra-contemporary boom years, when Phillips became the place where young artists routinely set records, this time it was more established names carrying the evening. The top lot was Andy Warhol's 16 Jackies from 1964, which sold for $16.2 million. Now to the undisputed heavyweight of the week, Christie's. The auction house pulled in an enormous $1.3 billion across 3 evening sales and 105 lots. That's up more than 115% from the comparable sales last year. The big driver, of course, was the blockbuster SI Newhouse collection, which alone generated more than $630 million and produced several headline-making records. Jackson Pollock's No. 7A sold for $181.2 million, nearly triple the artist's previous auction record. And a bronze by Konstantin Brancusi fetched $107.6 million, setting another new high. Lastly, a Mark Rothko painting once owned by Grand Dame patroness Agnes Gund sold for just under $100 million. The Newhouse collection somewhat distorts the broader picture because of the sheer caliber of the material and the high prices. But even beyond that sale, there were signs of renewed energy in the market, especially from cross-category buyers who may not have been actively participating a year or two ago. Finally, Sotheby's also posted a very strong season. The house brought in around $737 million across 102 lots in its evening sales, nearly doubling its equivalent total from last May. Sotheby's kicked things off early with a $433 million contemporary sale, alongside a successful single-owner auction from the collection of the late dealer Robert Minuchin. It followed that the next week with a solid $303 million Impressionist and Modern sale. The standout works included Minuchin's Rothko, Brown and Blacks and Reds, which sold for $85.8 million, and Henri Matisse's La Chaise Lorraine, which brought in $48.4 million after a prolonged bidding battle. So what's the big takeaway here? The market still appears to be narrowing upward. Trophy lots are doing much of the heavy lifting of its rebound, and there were still signs of softness beneath the surface in nearly every sale. But there's also growing evidence that sellers are becoming more realistic, both about pricing and about the possibility of taking losses if they want liquidity. And that realism may actually be helping restore confidence. At least this season, among the big 3 auction houses, there were no real losers, only winners. You can get more details on these stories on news.artnet.com. Art Market Minute is produced by Sonia Manalili and me, Margaret Kerrigan. We'll be on break next week, but we'll see you back here on June 8th.